In the quiet village of Luma, where lanterns never dimmed, young Era held a fragile light, a small lantern passed down through generations. Its glow pulsed gently in her hands as twilight cloaked the sky. The villagers whispered of shadows gathering beyond the hills, where darkness sought to snuff out every spark. Ira's grandmother said, "Light is not just brightness, it's courage." With a steady breath, Ira stepped into the night, lantern raised high. "I will carry the light," she vowed, "even if I walk alone." Behind her, the village faded into silhouettes, but the lantern's flame burned ever stronger, guiding her toward a destiny written in fire and shadow. Ira approached the ancient ruins, their moss-covered stones whispering secrets of forgotten times. The air was thick with history and mystery. She hesitated, then lit a second lantern from her own, the twin flames casting dancing shadows across crumbled walls. "These ruins hold the stories of those who carried the light before me," she whispered. "And now, I must add my own." As she stepped inside, the wind carried a faint melody, an echo of hope and loss. Her journey had truly begun. Inside the ruins, Ira discovered symbols etched in stone, stories of lantern-bearers who had faced darkness and prevailed. She traced the carvings with reverent fingers, feeling a surge of strength and connection. "Each light fought its own shadow," she murmured. Suddenly, the ground trembled lightly, and a soft glow emerged from beneath the rubble. Ira steadied herself, realizing this was no ordinary place. The lanterns flickered in unison, as if responding to an ancient call. The glow intensified, revealing a hidden chamber beneath the ruins. Ira descended carefully, the air growing cooler but charged with energy. At the chamber's center stood an enormous lantern, its flame alive with swirling colors beyond natural fire. "This is the Heart Lantern," the voice of her grandmother echoed in her mind. "It holds the power to kindle hope in the darkest times." Ira reached out, feeling the heat and the pulse of countless stories waiting to be told. "I am ready," she said, "to carry the light forward." As Ira lifted the Heart Lantern, the chamber hummed with awakening power. Light radiated outward, illuminating inscriptions on the walls, stories of courage, sacrifice, and renewal. Outside, the village watched as the first true beacon of hope pierced the night sky. Ira knew her path would be perilous, but with the lantern's flame in her hands, she would face whatever shadows came. "For every light," she whispered, "there is a story worth telling." Ira and the child stepped into a vast ancient forest, where towering trees stretched toward the sky like the arms of giants guarding forgotten secrets. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and moss, and the canopy above filtered sunlight into shifting patterns of gold and emerald. "This forest is alive with memory," Ira said reverently, her voice barely above a whisper. "Every leaf, every root holds the echoes of lantern-bearers long past, those who faced darkness and chose light. We walk not alone, but with their courage guiding our every step." The child's eyes shone with a mixture of awe and determination, clutching their lantern tightly. "Their light is in us now," Ira added, "and it will carry us through whatever lies ahead." As they moved deeper into the forest, the soft glow of their lanterns mingled with the dappled sunlight, casting an ethereal dance of light and shadow that seemed to breathe hope into the very air around them. Following a narrow path, they arrived at a clear, bubbling brook, winding its way through the forest floor. The water sparkled like liquid crystal, reflecting the lantern light and the emerald canopy above. Ira knelt beside the brook, cupping the cool water in her hands. "Water is the essence of life, and it carries the memories of all who have passed this way," she said softly. "It teaches us resilience. No matter the obstacles, it flows onward, carving its path through rock and shadow." The child watched small fish dart beneath the surface, eyes wide with wonder. "Our light, like this water, moves steadily forward," Ira continued. "Even in still moments it ripples outward, touching lives beyond what we can see." As they refreshed themselves, the gentle murmur of the brook mingled with their whispered hopes, infusing them with quiet strength for the journey yet to come. Suddenly the forest grew darker, the canopy thickening until sunlight barely pierced the shadows. A chill settled in the air as twisted branches clawed toward the sky like gnarled fingers. "We have entered the forest of doubt," Ira said quietly, her voice steady despite the unease that tingled at her skin. "It is a place where many have lost their way, consumed by fear and uncertainty." The child's grip tightened on their lantern, fingers trembling but resolute. "But we carry a flame stronger than any shadow," Ira added firmly. "The light within us is a beacon that will never be extinguished, no matter how dark the path." As they pressed forward, the lantern flames flickered in the dense gloom, casting dancing shadows that pushed back the encroaching darkness. "Every step through doubt is a victory," Ira whispered, eyes glowing with fierce determination. Together they moved bravely through the forest, their light a shield against despair. After what felt like an eternity of shadows, the forest began to thin, revealing a glimmering clearing bathed in soft moonlight. The air was fragrant with jasmine and wild herbs, and glowing flowers dotted the meadow like stars fallen to earth. "This is the meadow of reflection," Ira said, voice low with reverence. "Here, we pause to remember where we have been, to gather strength for the road ahead." The child knelt, tracing fingers over a cluster of luminescent blossoms. "Each flower is a story, each story a light to guide us," Ira explained. Their lantern's gentle glow mingled with moonlight, bathing the meadow in a peaceful luminescence. A quiet calm settled over them, replenishing their spirits and reminding them that even in stillness, the light endures. As dawn approached, painting the sky with soft hues of pink and gold, Ira and the child climbed a gentle hill overlooking a vast valley below. The air was crisp and fresh with promise. "Each day brings new challenges," Ira said quietly, "but also the chance for hope to bloom anew." The child lifted their lantern high, a small but brilliant flame against the awakening world. "No matter what lies ahead, our journey continues, step by step, light by light." Their lanterns cast long beams across the valley, symbols of resilience and unyielding courage. Though their path stretched far and uncertain, their hearts burned bright with the promise of stories yet to be told. Ira and the child entered an ancient forest, where towering trees whispered secrets with every breeze. Shafts of golden light pierced the dense canopy, dancing on leaves and moss-covered stones. "This forest has witnessed countless journeys," Ira said softly. "Its strength comes from the stories etched into every root and branch." The child looked around, eyes wide with wonder, clutching their lantern tightly. "Every light before us has passed this way," Ira continued. "Their courage lives within us now." As they walked deeper, the lantern's glow mingled with the sunlight, weaving a tapestry of light and shadow, a testament to the endless cycle of hope and perseverance. Deeper into the forest, a gentle stream bubbled over smooth stones, its water sparkling in the lantern light. Ira knelt by the stream, cupping her hands to drink. "Water is life, and it carries the memories of all who come before," she said quietly. The child bent down, watching fish dart beneath the surface. "The stream teaches us to keep flowing, no matter the obstacles," Ira added. The lantern's reflections flickered on the water, reminding them that even in stillness, their light could ripple far beyond their sight. Together they filled their spirits with the stream's quiet strength, ready for the journey ahead. Suddenly, the forest grew darker, thick shadows creeping across the path. A chill settled in the air. "This is the forest of doubt," Ira warned. "Many have lost their way here, swallowed by fear." The child's grip tightened on their lantern. "But our light is stronger," Ira continued, voice steady. "We carry hope in the darkest places." As they pressed forward, the lantern's flames flickered but refused to die, casting dancing shadows that slowly retreated. "Every step forward is a victory," Ira said, eyes shining. Together, they faced the darkness, their light a steadfast shield against the creeping gloom. Emerging from the shadowed forest, Ira and the child found a meadow glowing softly under the silver light of a full moon. The air was cool and fragrant with wildflowers. "This is the meadow of reflection," Ira said, voice hushed with reverence. Here, we remember the paths we've traveled and gather strength for those ahead. The child knelt to touch a cluster of glowing blossoms. Each light is a story, each story a beacon, Ira explained. The lantern's gentle glow mingled with moonlight, bathing the meadow in a peaceful luminescence that filled their hearts with calm determination. As dawn crept over the horizon, Ira and the child stood on a hill overlooking a vast valley bathed in soft morning light. Each day brings new challenges, Ira said with quiet strength, but also new hope. The child smiled, lifting their lantern high. Our journey continues, one step at a time. Together they descended toward the valley, their lanterns blazing bright, symbols of resilience and the unyielding light that would guide them through whatever darkness remained. The path was far from over, but their spirits burned with the promise of all that was yet to come. Ira and the child reached the foothills of towering mountains, where the air grew thin and cold. The path wound steeply, lined with jagged rocks and sparse evergreens swaying in the chill wind. This climb will test your spirit, the warden's voice echoed softly in Ira's mind. She tightened her grip on the heart lantern, feeling its warmth pulse like a heartbeat against the biting cold. The child shivered, but took a determined step forward. As shadows lengthened and the wind whispered warnings, Ira said firmly, "No matter how steep the climb, the light we carry will never falter." Each step was a promise. Their light was a beacon guiding them through the darkness and cold toward the summit and beyond. On a narrow ledge, Ira caught her breath, eyes fixed on a swirling portal of iridescent clouds shimmering ahead. "The Gate of Whispers," she murmured, recalling the legends told in the village. "It holds the voices of those who have walked before us." As they neared, soft murmurs of past journeys filled the air, whispers of hope, loss, and courage. Closing her eyes, Ira let the voices wash over her, feeling their strength settle into her bones. "Their stories are our strength," she whispered to the child. The portal pulsed, inviting them in, and together they stepped forward, hearts open to the mysteries that lay beyond. Inside the portal, time folded and shimmered. Reflections floated around them, fragments of Ira's past and futures yet unwritten, mirrored in endless shimmering surfaces. The child's face multiplied into countless versions, each carrying a glowing lantern, each telling a story. "We are many yet one," Ira said softly. The reflections swirled and converged, forming a radiant path leading deeper into the unknown. Holding the child's hand tightly, she stepped forward, feeling the strength of all who bore the lantern before them. Their journey was no longer just theirs. It was a thread woven into the eternal tapestry of light. Emerging from the reflections, they found themselves in a vast crystal chamber, bathed in light. At its center stood a pedestal, holding a large lantern pulsing with vibrant blue and gold hues. "The Lantern of Truth," the warden's voice echoed softly. "It reveals what is hidden and lights the path forward." Ira stepped closer, the child at her side. As her fingers brushed the lantern's surface, its light blossomed, filling the chamber with clarity and warmth. "With this, we will face the darkness together," she vowed. Their combined light now shone brighter, ready to illuminate whatever lay ahead. Lantern in hand, Ira and the child descended from the mountain as dawn broke, painting the sky with soft pink and gold hues. The air was crisp, filled with new possibility. "Our light carries the hopes of all who came before us," Ira said quietly. The child smiled, stepping forward confidently. Their lanterns burned brightly, casting long beams that pierced the morning mist. "Wherever shadows fall, the light will follow," Ira promised. Hand in hand, they walked toward the valley below, their path illuminated by the promise of new stories yet to be told. Ira and the child entered a vast, sun-drenched meadow where wildflowers swayed gently beneath a brilliant sapphire sky. The air was alive with the hum of bees and the soft rustle of tall grass, carrying whispers of ancient songs on the breeze. "This meadow holds peace, but also the tests of those who come here," Ira said quietly, watching how the heart lantern's warm glow seemed to blend seamlessly with the natural light. Tiny lights flickered among the flowers, spirits of past lantern bearers watching over the path. The child reached out, touching a glowing petal with wonder. Their light guides us still. Ira smiled, her heart buoyed by the legacy around them. Without warning, the sky darkened as ominous storm clouds rolled in, blotting out the sun and casting a heavy shadow over the meadow. Thunder rumbled, shaking the air with primal power. Ira raised the heart lantern, its flame flickering but defiant. "Storms test the strength of our light," she said softly. The child clutched their lantern tightly, eyes wide but steady. As rain began to fall, each drop sparkled like tiny jewels caught in the lantern's glow. Together, they pressed forward, their combined light forming a protective shield against the tempest. "No storm can extinguish the flame we carry," Ira declared as lightning flashed across the brooding sky. The storm raged as they reached a swollen river, swollen and violent from the rain. The rushing current roared threateningly, a wall of water that seemed impossible to cross. "We must find a way," Ira said, scanning the turbulent waters with focused eyes. The child's small hand gripped hers tightly, their trust unshaken. Raising the heart lantern high, Ira felt its light ripple outward, calming the water just enough to form glowing stepping stones of shimmering energy. One careful step after another, they crossed together, lantern light steady despite the fury around them. "The light may bend, but it never breaks," Ira whispered, heart pounding with resolve. Beyond the river, the storm passed, revealing a serene glade bathed in soft golden sunlight. The scent of jasmine and wild herbs filled the air as Ira and the child rested beneath ancient trees with leaves shimmering like gold. "We have weathered the storm," Ira said, voice filled with quiet relief. The child laughed softly, lifting their lantern to catch the sunbeams. Around them, the forest seemed to breathe anew, alive with renewed hope and strength. "This light will carry us forward," Ira promised. Though the path remained long, the brightness of their journey now gleamed with promise and possibility. As they prepared to move onward, a distant melody floated through the trees, an ancient song woven with light and hope. Ira listened, feeling the music resonate deep within her soul. "This song connects all who carry the lantern," she said, eyes shining with reverence. The child nodded, stepping forward with their lantern raised high. Together they followed the melody along a path bathed in radiant light. The forest around them pulsed in harmony, a living testament to courage and unity. Their journey was far from over, but their spirits soared, ready to carry the light into the next chapter. Ira and the child climbed onto a high plateau, where the vast lands stretched endlessly beneath a twilight sky. Villages sparkled like distant stars, and the mountains melted into the horizon's soft haze. The heart lantern pulsed steadily in Ira's hands, its rhythm echoing the lives and hopes of all those connected by the flame. "This plateau holds the memories of every bearer who came before us," Ira whispered, feeling the weight and warmth of their courage. As she gazed into the distance, flickers of past lantern bearers appeared like fireflies, their stories woven together into a tapestry of hope that strengthened her spirit. The child squeezed her hand, ready to face whatever lay ahead. As night deepened, the stars ignited the sky, forming constellations of ancient symbols, lanterns, flames, and figures etched in starlight. Ira traced the patterns, recognizing stories written across the heavens, tales of hope, loss, and renewal. "The stars guide us as they guided those who came before," she murmured reverently. The child pointed excitedly to a new constellation, one shaped like a radiant lantern shining brighter than the rest. "Our story joins theirs now," Ira said with awe. The lantern's light pulsed in harmony with the stars, a beacon that no darkness could ever diminish, a symbol of eternal hope. Suddenly a distant thunder rolled as dark clouds surged forward, heralding a storm. From the shadows emerged a dark figure, a manifestation of ancient fears seeking to snuff out the light they carried. Ira gripped the heart lantern tighter, feeling its warmth flare against the cold thread. "We must stand firm," she declared, stepping forward. The child raised their small lantern high, joining her. Together, Their flames intertwined and erupted into a radiant shield, casting back the encroaching darkness. This battle for hope was far from over, but their combined light shone with unwavering strength. The shadow recoiled, retreating into the storm's darkness, but not without leaving scars on the land below. Ira knelt carefully, planting the heart lantern into the earth. Its light flowed through the cracked soil like veins, healing wounds and coaxing life to bloom anew. Light doesn't just push back darkness, she said softly. It transforms it. The child watched in awe as flowers sprouted amid charred ground. Together they rose, hearts stronger, spirits unbroken. Though the path ahead remained uncertain, their light burned brighter with every step forward. At dawn's first light, Ira and the child stood at the plateau's edge, gazing toward a horizon alive with promise. The heart lantern's glow merged with the sun's rising beams, symbolizing eternal hope. "This light we carry," Ira said, "is a sacred promise, to carry stories, to face shadows, to never waver." The child smiled, eyes bright with courage and wonder. Hand in hand they stepped forward, their lanterns casting long beams that stretched out across the land, a beacon for all who would follow the path of the lantern bearers. Ira and the child finally reached the summit of the tallest mountain, standing beneath a sprawling canopy of stars that seemed to stretch beyond infinity. The air was crisp, filled with a profound silence that thrummed with timeless energy. Holding the heart lantern, Ira felt its pulse merge with the heartbeat of the cosmos itself. "This moment," she whispered, her voice trembling with awe, "is not an end but a new beginning. Our light becomes one with the universe's eternal story, woven through every soul who came before us and every soul yet to come." The child lifted their lantern, and their flames intertwined, bursting into brilliant constellations that ignited the night sky like beacons of hope. The warden's voice echoed from the stars, "Every story, every light, lives beyond time." From their vantage point, the constellations cast gentle, radiant light down upon villages, twinkling like stars scattered across the lands below. Children and storytellers looked upward, their faces glowing with wonder and inspiration, as the warmth of the lantern's flame spread throughout the cosmos. "The light we carry," Ira said softly, "is eternal. It never truly fades. It only transforms, taking new shape with every bearer, every storyteller brave enough to hold it and pass it forward." The child smiled, eyes bright with hope as new faces appeared among the stars, future lantern bearers ready to begin their own journeys. The cosmos itself seemed to sing a song of renewal and endless possibility, forever entwining their tale with the heavens. Long after Ira and the child became legends, a gathering of lantern bearers assembled beneath their constellation, sharing stories of bravery, sacrifice, and light discovered in darkness. Each lantern flame represented a thread in the infinite tapestry of hope that stretched across generations. "Her journey is now part of our legacy," one whispered reverently. "Her light guides us still." Above them, the loom of lanterns pulsed gently, a celestial web weaving new stories into the fabric of time and space. The story was never truly finished. It only grew brighter, fueled by every heart daring to carry the flame beyond the edge of night. In a quiet forest glen, bathed in gentle moonlight, a child discovered a small shard glowing softly, with the warmth of the heart lantern's flame. Eyes wide with wonder and awe, the child held the shard close, feeling the stories and courage of countless bearers flowing into their soul. "I will carry this light forward," the child whispered, knowing the weight of such a promise. Far away, the warden watched with a quiet knowing smile, his voice barely a murmur on the night breeze. "The tale continues, endlessly renewed. For every ending births a beginning, and every light, no matter how small, holds the power to ignite the darkness anew." And so, the lantern's legacy stretched beyond horizons, threading endlessly through the vastness of time and space, carried in the hearts of countless souls. The loom of lanterns glowed softly in the cosmic depths, patiently awaiting the next story, the next bearer of light to rise. Ira's voice lingered in the silence between stars, a gentle reminder echoing through eternity. Remember always, every smallest flame has the power to light the darkest night, and every story lives forever beyond time. The universe pulsed with infinite tales, forever weaving hope and courage into a luminous dance that would never cease.